Always the final adjustments. Here we are. This is my partner in real estate, Ken Williams. We're happy to have him with tonight. He's the real estate hero.
That's it, man.
Ken has been down here in Florida doing real estate for 15 plus years.
Yep.
So very experienced in the home market and real estate all throughout Florida. And before that, came from New York and did a little bit of real estate up there too, right?
No, New York is where I was born and raised. Went to school, joined the military, bounced all over the world, and then was a police officer just north of Chicago. So for all the Midwesters out there, I remember those cold winters and things like that. I really got into real estate and multifamily in Georgia.
Okay.
When I was in Georgia, and then after that, then on my trail to Florida. So traveling man.
All right. Well, again, guys, it's just going to be like a normal live show tonight. Except for instead of Lindsay, I have Ken here. So
I hope they're not disappointed.
There might be some.
There you go.
I mean, the ones that are looking for makeup tutorials and hairstylists are not going to get.
No, you're not going to get that from me, man.
They're not going to get that tonight. Miss Mall says two of my favorite people. What's up, guys?
There you go.
And then we got Kyle. Thanks for your service, Ken.
No, definitely. My honor and a pleasure.
And I think that can be said for all of us. But yeah, we're just going to do it like normal, guys. We're just going to read the comments. When we get something that's kind of a hot topic, we'll spend a little bit of time and talk about it. Again, Ken is very knowledgeable. If you guys got any specific questions about the housing market, because I know lots of you are, wondering about that. And you and I talked a little bit about that ahead of time here, so maybe we can talk a little bit about that now before the questions start rolling in, because I had asked you, and this is going to be a video I'm putting out here pretty soon, guys. It's actually the next video that we are filming, and my question for Ken is now a good time to buy, or should you wait?
Yeah, and before I answer that, let me just say this, guys, where my platform is at and why I call myself the real estate hero is because I jokingly say, because the real estate world needs a hero. When everybody is just talking about statistics, property and price, I just always never forget that there's people involved. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's my niche. When people say, "Oh, what's your niche? Do you do this? Do you do that?" I do whatever it is that I have to do to help people. So that's a segue to go into answering even that question. Is it really depends on the person. What has you buying? If we're focused on buyers, what has you buying in the first place? Could that wait? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So what could wait and what can't wait, that's where my question will design to. So I try never to tell a person what to do. I help them achieve what their goals are. I ask them what do they want to do. And then my attitude is I work with a team of partners like yours truly, things like get done. So if a person needs to buy now or even wants to buy now, my attitude is then let's buy now. Right. So the answer is now's a great time to buy, but you got to be up for the game. It's like saying, well, is it a good time to go fishing? Well, yeah, but not if you don't have a rod and bait. You see what I'm getting at?
Exactly.
So you just got to be ready for other things that go with it. But if you have everything necessary, then let's go for it. Now, for those who want to know, well, then based on certain things, why is it still a good time? Is because interest rates are still low, and I'm not one of those back in 1960 something. No, even just back in the early 2000s, to get a loan. I remember the first time when I got it, it was 8, 9, 10%. So we're still at record lows. Now, have we been spoiled in the last year or two before this, and 2 and 3%? Yes. But it's still a great time to buy because the interest rates are there. And to me, anything below that 6 or so, because if you purchase now and you purchase it right, is you'll purchase now, you'll have a good interest rate. Again, I know it's not 2 or 3. Let's move on from that. We got to just move on with life. Sugar's not 5 cents either. There's just certain things we just got to start understanding. Anybody who's been into a gas pump understands it's no longer 2 something, but people still drive. Mm-hmm. People aren't abandoning their cars. So you still do that. But the good news is the need for it, the supply demand is there, that if you purchase a home today, especially in the Central Florida area, within 30, 60, 90 days, you have the equity to where now, you're looking like a rock star.
That's a crazy market too.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing,
And
which
it
makes it is the reason why it's a great time to sell and buy under the right circumstances.
And it sounds like your attitude towards real estate, as far as not convincing anybody to buy or not convincing anybody not to buy, is the same as we always tell you guys: is we're not here to convince you to move to Florida. We're here to facilitate you once you've already made your decision to move to Florida.
And help you. That's it. Our job of our team is just to help as many people in the real estate process as we possibly can.
That's right.
Definitely.
I saw a good question here from Deacon. Says, Ken, best place in Florida for a family? We are very outdoorsy, love fishing.
Gotcha. Wow. One of the things that I would say is, again, having that list. I love sitting with a family and finding out what does everybody want to do, what is everybody's goals, what are the kids into, what are the parents into, what do you like to do in your spare time. So when it comes down to, say, for somebody who's an outdoorsy person, they may not know where we're geographically located. We got Lake Louisa, within minutes from where we're at right now. So I would say this, guys, I'm not going to be able to, again, because it just goes completely, I need to kind of sit down and talk. That's almost like saying, what's the best prescription for a headache?
Exactly.
It would be irresponsible for me to do that. But what I would say is, but we all know an aspirin is what it takes and stuff, So when it comes down to that is finding a good place. The one thing love about Florida is there's so many places with
water everywhere.
There's water everywhere, so there's not a bad place. But what I would say to add to that is you could have, and this is going to be so cheesy because it just came to my mind. You could have your lake and eat it too.
That's good.
Please don't.
You can have your lake and fish it
too. Because the cool thing about it is with Florida, since we're so water provided, you could be where you could fish and also where you make your money, where your kids get the education, where you can still go shopping within 30, 40 minutes. So that's the beautiful thing is look and see what you like. You could literally narrow it down. Like, say, for example, if I was talking to somebody and they were really heavy on fishing, I would go deeper on that conversation. What kind of fishing?
Yeah, I was going to get into that too.
Is it water? Is it salt water? Is it bass? Is it that? And then what we will do, we will type in and, Google and YouTube University. We'll go in and we'll get all that information. It's not like we got to go to the library no more. We can just Google and just narrow it down and then just say the top 5 places to go bass fishing. And then I say, well, then let's find out what else we can get and put in your happy basket. And then before you know it, it's like, oh, wow.
This is the perfect spot.
We made the perfect spot. Now, it may not be perfect for anyone else but you.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. And that's what really gets me going is when at the closing table, I can go back with my customer and say, let's look at that list and how little you had to sacrifice.
I don't know what's going on with your computer here.
That's pretty cool.
I'm going to refresh it. And what I was going to add to that is, for those of you that don't know, I'm very outdoorsy. And I had a love for fishing well before I came to Florida. Freshwater fishing up in Wisconsin. And, man, it's way different down here in Florida. You know what I did? I found a brand new love for fishing. I fell in love all over again once I went out in that saltwater and started, learning again. And I think that's the love of, or that's what really makes you fall in love with things, is being able to learn something all over again and do something new. And now I'm in love with saltwater fishing. So
awesome.
who ever thought? I would have came here and thought, what? I love bass fishing, but now I love fishing for stuff that who knows what's out there.
It's a beautiful thing, man, to find love.
What was another one I saw here? I want to say congratulations to Elaine, because Elaine said we closed on our house in Sarasota 3 weeks ago. We did it to get out of renting and catch the interest rate when they were a little lower. House prices are still going up, so we're happy we did it. That's exactly what you just talked about.
Yeah. So can I say something about that, guys? There's an old saying like, watch the tongue. So when they say, when somebody says prices are going up, that's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Don't you want something that will increase in value? So I always say, value is growing.
Yeah, right.
So please don't look at it, because what happens is we look at it as a problem. That's not a problem. So can you get homes for under a certain amount? No, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. You can still get a home, still pay less on a monthly mortgage than you would for a rental. for the same type of home. But the good news is you just now made a one hell of an investment because now you're the homeowner. So you went
You're
from
the one taking advantage.
you're
of
the one
price
now
going
taking
up.
advantage of all the things that home ownership brings to you, including, the value of your home being steadily growing. So we don't want a roller coaster. We want to avoid that. So no, the fact that it's a steady climb, that's a good thing. We want that because on the flip side of it, because I remember when it was a buyer's market, then the buyer was skeptical should they buy. Because they didn't want to buy something for 200, let's say 1,000. That doesn't happen anymore. We all know that. But then then their fear was, well, how do I know it's going to maintain or increase in value and it won't go the other way? So guys, sooner or later, we're going to have to make a decision. How do we see things?
And the people that said that 6 months ago are now kicking themselves.
Oh, that's it. And then of course the ones that say, you know what? I need a home because I need to do this. 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 I have to have a roof over my head. I'm not going to just give my money to somebody else to make their equity grow. I'm going to make this decision. And those people look like rock stars because, yes, it was a little something to get into it. You had to get a few because the supply is so low. You had to feel a little rejections, I'm sure. That's not the first time we've heard those things. So we just got to change our perspective, and I think we'll be fine. And that's one of the things that I always try to do when I have my consultation is let's just make sure our head is in the right place. I laugh at if somebody thought about playing football and thought they would never get hit. That kind of thing. Oh, it's yeah, it is, but it doesn't, it doesn't have to be what you're making it either. So that's what I always try to tell people. So I always just kind of tell people, man, don't let the whole price and what could happen in the future really dictate what is happening now in your life that is really generating the need or even the high want for buying a house. And then let's just put a plan together to make sure that your goals are met. I think it's a win-win for everybody.
And there's a lot of love for Ken in the chat here.
Man, I like because they feel it. And I got to give a shout out. My wife has a philosophy, I'm going to love you so much that you got no other choice but to love me back. Yeah. So that's kind of like what it is that, it's it. I'm feeling the love from them. So, man, this is the time. You guys got me vulnerable, man. Ask me anything.
We got Emily saying, can you speak a little bit to homeowners insurance costs significantly lower away from the coast?
Yeah.
How far?
Yeah, a good question, Emily. With that being said, what I always do is this, and what Emily's asking is something else that I want to kind of throw out there. I would be skeptical about the the baker who could also tell you the best way to cook pasta or something like that. What I'm trying to say is the one thing I do, Emily, is make sure I align myself with professionals in the particular arena or in a particular discussion. So I'll tell you guys right now, I am not the agent. I'm not the walking complete encyclopedia. I'm the guy that knows a guy. So what I will say, Emily, is it forever changes in Florida. Because all it takes is for this to happen this season and things like that. Like literally, all it takes is for us to get a forecast of a tropical storm. And if you're closing on a house on a Friday or something, and you don't have your insurance, it's so touchy, Emily, that they will probably have not issue us that insurance on Friday, and they're going to wait till the weekend to see if we actually what happens, right. And then they'll reopen it back on Monday. So it's that touchy to where I would not trust, let's say, a real estate agent who wanted to firmly tell you that, and they're not certified or licensed as an insurance company where they can get the intricate information to be more precise for you. So what I will say to you is I'm going to just use what we know. We are about an hour from the Tampa coastline, a couple of hours from here to, 2 to 3 hours between each coastline. So I'm going to definitely know that much, that our homeowners insurance is going to be less requirements than say it would be just an hour from here, which is about 60, 70 miles. So I'm going to throw it out there just from our day-to-day operations. But that would be one of those questions, though, before I let Emily move on with the purchase. I'm going to make sure that we got a professional in the insurance company who would give her a more direct answer, because she deserves to get a more direct answer.
Ken knows a guy.
That's it. Always, man. Know a guy and a girl. Anybody that helps get the job done.
I want to touch on Clara here, who said, Ken also encourage prior or current service members to use their VA home benefit to purchase property here in Florida. We did, and it helped so much with closing costs.
Yes, definitely. It's something that I don't think is understood it's a deserve. It's something you earned. So yes, anything that you earn, use it whenever possible. Now, there's going to be, again, there are specifics. There are people that even if they are VA eligible, they still, when they sit down with their agent, but more importantly, they sit down with, a preferred lender or somebody who dissects, again, their biggest needs. And there's a few chances where obviously putting some down payment would be good. So going conventional or something like that could be better for the veteran in the big picture of things. But definitely, I really wish all veterans exercise their right to know and use if appropriate.
Something I want to talk about too, because you and I were talking about it before we went on, is the fact that there's so many offers out there on homes now, and people are almost not even looking when you have an FHA loan, don't have a lot of money down, and something you can do about that. So you want to talk about that?
Sure. The first thing is we can't no longer rely on the name itself. Okay, so what that means, and for those who know, that you got government loans, you got conventional or non-conventional type of loans out there. So VA, FHA, USDA, those are considered government loans, where they kind of are getting a little bit of a bad rap right now. And so with it being a seller's market, the seller's agents are guiding their sellers to, they're prepping them that cash is going to be what they're going to go for first. Then you got conventional loans, and then if we got no other choice, we'll go with an FHA or VA. Where I would ask
now, before we go further, why do you think the seller's agents are telling the sellers that?
Yeah, it's because of
less risk.
It's a less risky. Without a doubt, the VA, the FHA, the government loans have some higher qualifications that they expect out of the home. But if you're talking about a home that, and we're talking about more like your fixer-upper type of homes where they would have that much of a change or a difference. The other thing that, I could go on about a lot of different things, but anything dealing with our government, all it takes is for a government shutdown, and it could delay, a closing for an FHA or a VA loan. So there's different parameters of it. What I would say the answer to it, though, is communication. You got to get on the phone. So if I'm the agent and I have a customer that's FHA, VA approved, the very first thing is not the, oh my gosh, is there any way you can go get that changed? I'll ask the lender what would it take for that reasonings. But at this end of the day, you can still prepare and present that FHA, that VA buyer just as good as a cash buyer. Meaning if everything else is there, then you just got to get on the phone and you find that right selling agent who's willing to be open-minded enough to communicate with you and go into the details and saying, hey, this is a government loan person, but here's their credit, here's their this. We're already, and then have a checklist of showing where this person's at. This person is ready to close 28 days, whatever the case may be, 16 days. I'll get the lender on the phone. We just got to do a better job at servicing our customers and communicating with one another. And I think that right there will help a lot of it. But to go also what you're saying is that if we need to think outside the box in non-traditional formats, there are companies out there that will take a customer who is getting a loan, and then that company will purchase the property in cash and then allow the buyer to occupy the home as a renter until that person can close during the traditional financing means, and gives them up to 6 months to do that. The way they do it, they're not hurting the relationship with your lender. They'll get in contact with your lender. They'll make sure that you are approved, not just vaguely or partially, that you are pretty much fully approved. They just need a little bit of time. We just want to be able to win on a cash deal, and then they'll sit there and sell the home back to the buyer at the same price that they purchased it at. And of course, the catch is, I think it's like a 1 or 2% service fee that comes along with that.
Yeah.
So again,
the third party company makes their money. The buyer gets the home, and the mortgage company gets their loans. So
everybody wins. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
So Clara said, cash for gap prior to appraisal. You can use a strategy with your agent to put your best foot forward with offer. Having a great credit score, 840, also helped us.
Big time, Clara.
Big time.
Awesome. No, that's golden, man. You got a good crowd, man. Man.
And I think the key to what you were saying is having a good agent that's going to stick their neck out there and be in communication with the seller's agent, and put their best foot forward and be an advocate for you, the buyer. And
let me even go one step further, humbly. Man, a good real estate team. a really good real estate team. So when you're out there and you're searching for an agent, I just say, man, just please make sure the days of the me syndrome, like, I'm the top producing agent and you look at me and I'm on every billboard and yada yada, that would concern me, because again, it's like the doctor who is so busy that when do you not start mattering and stuff. So the fact that, I know a guy who knows a guy, or, I have no problems that if I'm in a doctor's office and they're giving me some kind of diagnosis, and I would definitely appreciate them to say, yeah. And I also ran it by a few partners of mine,
Exactly.
specializing in this illness and stuff, to make sure that the diagnosis that we're doing as well as the treatment is best for you.
You'd much rather have that than the doctor that comes in and says, hey, I'm the best doctor.
Yeah, I'm the best line. I'm going to do it myself, and back everybody. Let me do this. That'd be a little risky for me. So I would probably say yeah. So for me, definitely, as much as I want to promote having a great agent, but the deeper level of what that description is that agent also has other people. I'm talking about everything from movers to housekeeping to do whatever, home warranty. There's so many things that in the real estate process and in the real estate transaction that could save or lose thousands of dollars of time, that I'm definitely humbly grateful for the people that I get to call partners, and they all don't have real estate license, but they're just part of the process. And as well as, shout out to just great customers.
Sure.
They come ready to be serviced.
And I think this is a great time for me to say something here that I've seen it online all the time on Facebook, where people go on groups and they say, hey, they might go to a Clermont neighborhood group and say, hey, I'm looking for a real estate agent.
Yeah.
You do something like that, you're going to get about 50 inbox messages. You're going to get 100 comments. Everybody's saying, my brother's a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent. My wife's a real estate agent. My dog's a real estate agent.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
So, you're going to get flooded with it, and who do you know how to pick? And that's where I would say, I've already done all that research for you. First of all, I was just on the phone today with a couple real estate agents up in Jacksonville trying to find the perfect fit for somebody. So if you're looking for a real estate agent anywhere within the state, we have a great team, first of all.
Yeah.
In the Central Florida area, and anywhere else, just send me a message. All my information's right up here on the screen eventually, or in the description of this video. So feel free to reach out to me anytime, and I'd be happy to hook you up.
Yeah. And if I could add to that, when you are searching for a real estate agent, guys, it is truly, truly okay to, again, think outside the box. Who are you going to relate to? Because this is a relationship. And I think that's what else that's missing is that, it could be as creepy as finding a wife online.
Yeah.
And it could be that weird. It could be that creepy. So what I want to tell
sometimes you just vibe with somebody.
Exactly. And that's what I want to tell the customer. Do not be afraid to vibe. Do not be afraid to vibe. Because again, with that right agent, they should also have other people for the skill set. But what you can't replace is the heart. So make sure that you're working with an agent that you feel has your best interests and so on and so forth. And I think you'll be fine with that. Every time that I meet a customer or something and they say that they're working with an agent, I don't try to go into a song and dance on why they should work with me. I'm like, well, then great. It sounds like you got somebody, that's working with you. And as long as you're satisfied, it is what it is. And then, my thing is, well, if he's that great, then why are you talking to me? But with that being said, but no, to the customer out there, guys, please, 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 do not just select an agent just on their score, in a sense. How many homes have they sold? If they've never worked with you before, you deserve to get somebody who's going to give you that kind of attention. And you should feel this is a very important decision that you're making, especially for those. I know a lot of your audience are people who have traveled from one place to another. Make sure your agent is that kind of person who understands that. Maybe somebody who has also relocated and know that feeling. In which, for the record, I've traveled and relocated since the age of 17, and now I'm at 50-something. So I've been doing it for going on like almost 40 years of traveling. I know what it feels like to go from one place that you knew somebody to now it's going to take a couple of weeks before you even get a hi from somebody that you know again. These are little things that you want to make sure that you're working with an agent who understands, not just knows, but understands what you're going through as a person.
Well said.
Yeah.
Where did it go? We got Aaliyah saying hi all the way from Buffalo. I think Ken can relate with
Yes, Aaliyah Williams. Hey.
Kyle says, I've heard a lot of talk about a housing bubble forming. Ken, do you see any indications of the market slowing down?
Oh, no. And the reason why I said, who said that, Kyle?
Kyle. My man Kyle.
Okay, awesome. Hey, Kyle, good question, good concern. And we were talking about that earlier. There should always be, an eye on it. But here's my reasoning, guys, is this, okay? I don't like getting the words, first of all, using real estate terms like the bubble and all that kind of stuff. Let's just call it what it is. You want to make sure that, we don't crash. The sky's going to fall again. There was a lot that we learned. There was a lot of factors that went into it. You still, today's buyer is a more qualified buyer. The market is a supply and demand market where so Kyle, to get it more layman's terms, as long as there are more people looking for property than there is property, no, I'll be honest with you, I'm not worried about it on that aspect. When it starts getting to the point to where homes are still on the, homes become back on the market for 60 days, 90 days, then yeah, I'll probably start saying that's when the trend will start happening, and I don't want to predict what it's at. A lot of people have, I'm sure you've heard it, everybody says here in Central Florida, we got another good year or so. I mean, we're still playing catch up. New home constructions are, delayed. They're like doing auctions now, and it's like 8-9 months behind.
If you compare Florida
like
to other states, Florida, we've had crazy year-over-year growth here in Florida, but it's not the highest in the country.
No, still not even the highest in the country. So no, so the answer to Kyle's thing is no. I don't see the bubble. I don't see the crash. I don't see the hold up. So guys, for those who are pausing their lives now, if you're an investor and you're that savvy person and you could afford to wait, I got nothing to say to convince you. But do I expect somebody to do another winter shoveling snow because they're trying to catch the market? Their kid's not going to get registered for that school district or whatever.
There'll be those people for sure.
Yeah. So, but that guys, no, I wouldn't say don't try to do this smartly in that sense. Go with what your needs are and move forward. Work with a good real estate agent and stuff. Now, here's what I will say. Not so much who, but you definitely want to work with an expert. And this is the reason why. For you to go out there on your own, that's how things can start happening. That's how things can start happening. And that's what could break the trend of it being so strong. Because the other thing that I want to say is that, I want to applaud today's buyers. I think people are still using agents the most. So what's happening is more professionals are involved in the transaction. I remember where all it took was you for to walk into a new construction place on your own and you met a nice person and everybody's signing paperwork. You would knock on the door and for sale by owners are everywhere and you're just buying stuff. That's when it starts becoming, I call it that's like a flea market syndrome. Right. But if you're in a structured, in a professional environment, I think that's what's going to really
things are selling for what they're worth on the market right now, not whatever the buyer's feeling like charging or whatever or the seller's feeling like charging, what the buyer's feeling like paying.
Can you imagine if everybody just started working on their own cars?
Yeah, right.
Our highways would be filled with broken down cars. Just be careful. Or people doing at-home operations. I go on and on and on. Keep the professionals involved. Let the professionals do what they got to do on your behalf. I'm not saying let a professional just, again, step all over you. Hopefully they counsel you, advise you, but then let them do what they got to do. You do what you got to do, and everybody can still win, and we won't have to worry about crashes and things like that. No, I think we'll be fine.
Pamela says, I'm qualified for $200K. What price home should I be looking for since it's a seller market?
$200K. Now, there'll be some adjustments, Pamela, but $200K will still get you. And it, of course, the sweet spot would be looking for something at 185, 190. So that way we do have a little bit of room to go up if necessary. But no, Pamela, I have gotten deals accepted. And I don't want to say like I'm the only one. I can only speak for myself. I know of agents that still get their offers accepted at asking price, things of that nature. Again, and I think communication is the key. Timeliness is also another factor. So there's a lot of things that we can still do for you, Pamela, to make sure that if you have the opportunity, we can get you into the home that we need to get you into. You won't have to sacrifice on the quality of the home. Obviously, we need to make sure that it's realistic and whatever you can do. But no, we should be able to still satisfy you and get you taken care of. And we don't have to throw you to the wolves. We don't have to make you settle, is the word I should be looking for. So no, you never have to settle. But yeah, we definitely want to go into this thing wide open. But no, people are still buying properties. People are still selling properties at or even sometimes lower than asking price. We find the right seller who's also looking to say move quickly. Divorces are happening. I did an interview just earlier at a listing appointment where the son has inherited the property because his father passed away.
And he just wants it
And
gone.
he just got a time to move on, so on and so forth. Got to pay off the loan of it, and then to walk away in today's seller's market with a few extra dollars in his pocket is a win-win. So now, Pamela, that's all we got to do is just work with an agent who just is non-tirelessly ready to go deeper to get you the results that you need. I never try to tell a customer when I first meet them, all right, let's start making some sacrifices. Let's start telling you what you can't have. No, I want to keep it wide open. Let's find out what you want, Pam, and then let's show you what the market has for you, and then we'll go from there.
We got Lisette. Is that your wife?
Yes.
Just saying, work with an agent that listens and provides you with what your needs are. That's correct.
That's it.
And then Lindsay's chiming in here. We got the wives back to back.
Oh man, that's it.
Ken's doing a great job. In my chair.
That's
Hit
it.
the like button for the guys tonight. Keep the questions coming. Thanks y'all for hanging out. Yeah.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
You got big shoes to fill in that.
That's it. No, I know, man. I've been a fan of you guys for the longest, man. I'm so honored to be here.
And we got Douglas. Hello from Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
I told you we got a lot of New
I
Yorkers.
see. Yeah, man. I love it.
Let's see. Oop, I skipped down here some. Aaliyah says, would it be smarter to buy a new development over an old house?
You know, again, it really depends on what are you looking for, what's your taste. I would say let's keep all options open, okay? Let nature take its course, you know? So that's what I would say, Leah, is just let's do that. Because again, what I try not to do, especially on my first consultation, is start telling somebody what they can't do and can't have. If a customer is open on both, what I tell them is let's go out with all of our game plans and let's just keep our eyes open, and we won't smug on one. We won't overly fall in love with anything else, and the right home will still, and it could be this or it could be that. Yeah.
Now, are you seeing, at least in the Central Florida market, are you seeing new construction homes where they're like the ones that are move-in ready, you know, that are almost like spec homes, or are they all kind of sign a contract and you're waiting right now? It's probably at least 12 months on new construction.
I'd probably say more like 8, know,
Okay.
somewhere around 8. It could be as low as 4, but with COVID, on top of the market, it definitely pushed it more towards 6 to 8 months. But yeah, and then of course, again, depending on the price scale of the home, things like that, the quality, if you're getting a lot of personalized, specialized windows and things like that, it could stretch it out to 12 months. But I'd probably say, in generally speaking, you're talking about 8 months for your traditional 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square feet, 400 or 500K home. But yeah, you're talking about a luxury home and a lot of extras, and a lot of things have to be shipped and things like that. It could be a little bit longer.
Are you seeing any of the spec homes that are moving ready that you can just buy a new construction and move right in?
No, I actually,
because that used to be a thing.
No, it used to be a thing. Again, no, I work with some new home construction people who always keep me up to date on homes that are available right now. So yeah, no, there are homes
There
that are
are
moving.
some.
Yeah, there are some, and the reason why they became some, a lot of it is, the builder itself. The area may not have been the sexy area where everybody was going to at the time, or unfortunately, loans don't get approved. So the home was
Built for somebody else.
It was built for somebody else from 8 months. I actually, we moved into a home that came on the market after somebody's transaction did not go to closing, and we were able to. So we lost out on the opportunity to pick a little personalized stuff, but we actually got a home at a good price.
A brand new home, good
but
price.
at a
Didn't
good
have to
time.
wait.
Didn't have to wait. It was already moving ready for us, and it was just a matter of just administrative, and we were able to do it. So yeah. So again, it's just like keeping those ears and eyes open, so you can still get a new home if necessary. We just got to work hard at finding it for you.
First of all, we got something from Margot here. Guys, again, if I missed your comment, just comment again, because sometimes when there starts to be a lot of comments, it skips down and I might miss it. Comment again, same thing, and we'll get to it. Margot says, when to start looking for a house already built and to build if I live in another state. So she's looking for, when should she start looking if she's looking for a pre-existing home, and when should she start looking if she's looking for new construction in today's market?
Yeah, again, communication is the key with your agent. I never make any of my customers feel like there's, oh, you're too early or something like that. Obviously we're not, looking and like, getting in the car and going seeing things because it changes that fast. But for you, Margie, no, get trend. So there's never a wrong time to start. There's just so many processes in the transaction. Then it may be too soon to do this or that. But no, I tell people, we're working with somebody who's about a year out. But he started out and we looked at some homes, and this is over $1 million price range. But no, so there's nothing wrong with that knowledge that he gained from the time that we spent with him, and he decided to wait a little bit longer before he takes the next step. But starting could happen at any time if I'm helping her answer a question. Because, again, any more detail that I can give you would have to be during a consultation to find out why, what, and what would you like to do. And then, so never too early to start. It may be too early to do certain steps in the process.
Makes sense.
So that would be my answer to that.
Sarah's asking recommended realtors in Brevard County. Obviously, there are lots. Who's the best? Now, everyone's going to tell you they're the best, right? Sarah, if you're looking for specific recommendations, shoot me an email, and I'd be happy to give you my recommendations.
Yeah.
Pamela says, thank you for your help. Are y'all VA approved? Can you explain VA assumable loans and how to get one?
Gotcha. No, I can't because I'm not a lender. Mainly because of that reason. I don't want to speak as.
But you know a guy.
A lender, yeah. Without a doubt, hit us up and we'll definitely get that answer for you. As far as giving you the details, especially when you're talking about assumable loans and stuff like that, the rules and stuff change so much, Sarah. And again, if somebody else wants to step into that arena to be able to do that, it's just not what I do to try to act like I know. Things change. It's just changing too fast, too much for me to be able to put my name on. This is what Ken said. I'd rather be. This is what we discussed.
Exactly.
Let me get the expert in. I get somebody on the phone in a matter of minutes and be able to get that answer if we really needed that answer for you. But in generally speaking, the way the VA loan works, though, you get your DD-214, making sure you meet your qualifications. You get your certificate as proof of that qualification, and the reward for that is no money out of pocket. As far as your down payment, you still will have to have closing costs. So that's the gist of it, and it's backed by the VA. So there's even some lighter leverages, lighter standards for the buyer. The home has to definitely meet to certain things, and it's not impossible. I know there's a stigma that comes with, oh my God, VA loan, and they're going to be scrutinizing the home. No, it's if the home has a flaw, the VA is just going to make sure that the flaw is not a major living concern, and they're going to want to make sure that the seller takes care of it. When you work with me, I'm going to make sure the seller takes care of any concerns you have either way. So
whatever type of loan.
Whatever the type of loan is, because everybody should walk away winning. Sellers should want to sell a home that somebody else would want to live in, and the buyer should want to buy a home that's livable. That's it. Simple as that. We don't want to make this difficult.
Here's one you can relate to, Ken. Coming from New York, what would you say is the biggest difference in the process?
Man, very good question. Being a native New Yorker myself. First of all, do not pack all that winter clothes. I think my winter clothes now is a hoodie.
Hey, but come on now. You get cold when it's below 70, right?
Yeah. Especially my wife. Oh my God, you should hear her complain about it. And she's talking to her mom, who's up in upstate New York around Buffalo, and I'm like, that's not fair to make her feel like we're anywhere near as cold as they are. I think they even got snow this week. It's ridiculous. But seriously, I would probably say work with an agent, work with somebody. And this not only goes with New York or anybody else. I don't even care if you're living across the street. Make a plan. Make a plan and you'll be fine. So again, and I make it as simple as elementary. Who, what, when, where, and why. I take all that information, put it through my mental Rolodex, my human computer system, my veins, get on the phone with partners and everybody like that, and then go back to the relocating person and say, based on your needs, based on what your desires are, here's the plan to get us there. And then we follow the plan and only make adjustments if we have to.
Douglas says, can you buy $100,000 in Lakeland or Bradenton, Sarasota? I'd say that's a tough market for that right now.
Yeah.
Mobile home and then paying lot fees and things like that.
And then, or you may be looking at a condo and then with some HOA fees and stuff like that. So it really depends on the big picture. So I would not want to dismiss somebody and say, laugh them off, 100,000. I would still try to find out what the expectation is.
Some things I see too, like down in, especially Southeast Florida, I see it pretty frequently. I think like Boca Raton is one that I see a lot, where you might see houses that you're like, I can't believe that house is that cheap. Well, then you read the fine print, and you got to pay a $50,000 a year membership to a golf club.
Correct. So I would not, I would not smug on it on price tag alone. I still, again, and I'm going to sound like a broken record. It's the complete story that I'm looking for, not just one factor. Oh, you looking for this? Oh, I can't help you. Looking for this? Oh, or it kills me when when I hear agents say, "Oh, you'll never find that." Oh, no, you're not going to get that. Oh, what are you, ridiculous? Nah, be easy.
Think outside the box.
Yeah, think outside the box. First of all, be a little respectful. People are, this is an opportunity, a blessing for people, and so again, no, I'm gonna make sure whatever we can find for that 100,000. But no, it's there. It's not going to be easy, but again, it's there. Now, if you're talking now again. If you have time and we wait, is it $100,000 in cash that we could probably look at an auction? So there's so many parameters. And just like you said, it may be, a double wide or something like that, or it may be something that's a fixer-upper. I just helped a partner of ours who just recently joined our team out about 2 hours from here in cash buyer. And it was for, a little over around 150. So it wasn't too far off from that amount. And yeah, we were able to, within a week, we found them the property. Now, without a doubt, fixer-upper, it's a cash deal, but it's like over an acre of land, yada, yada, some electric work that needs to be done. We found out that the septic tank is going to need some repairs of a couple of $100. So it's one of those things. So you got the 100,000 that's going to be implemented, but we just got to go in and know we got another 20 or 30,000 that we need to go ahead and put in fixing it up.
321 Rocker dude saying, who's the new guy? That's my brother.
That's it, man. Brother from another mother, man. That's it, man. Just a humble servant. That's all you need to know. Somebody who cares, somebody who wants to help. Definitely.
Alicia says, did you guys already talk about real estate taxes?
Good question. What would you like to know? kind of thing.
Maybe we'll see a question later on. So
now,
Alicia,
but what I will say, if you're referring to the biggest one that I think gets missed a lot, is the homestead tax.
Okay.
Is the homestead tax. And a lot of people don't realize in the state of Florida, you could save up to $50,000 if it's your primary home. Mm-hmm. You have to have lived in a home January of that year and then filed by March of that same year that you want to do it. But it could save you up to $50,000. So I would assume that that's probably what she's alluding to, but definitely put a more precise question and we'll do our best, but that's the most common thing. I know here in Florida, a lot of people don't get advised that, and they're in their home for 2 or 3 years, and unfortunately, because they're not working with an agent who keeps them informed, about up to $50,000 could have been saved in their pocket.
And I think kind of the last thing you talked about, where someone asked about, can you buy something with $100,000? We'll almost answer this question. And Jennifer asks, is there any hope for a single low-income widow with good credit score to own a home in Florida? Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course there is.
There's always. There's no saying. What we have to do is make sure that the common factor is there. Do I have a buyer that wants to buy, and we find a seller who wants to sell, and we match the two together? So it's kind of like I almost sometimes call myself the real estate hero, but then also still on the hashtag of being a real estate matchmaker, because that's all we got to do is find the right fit for you, and we'll get you there. So no, definitely, guys, everybody should be able to purchase a home, and that's definitely one of my marks is to make sure if it's possible to do, we'll do it. It's just got to be done with the right plan. Everything's got to be done with the right plan.
Kyle's asking, mandatory question: What beer does everyone have tonight? Sailfish Brewing Company is what he's drinking. Okay. That's kind of our thing, Ken. We drink beers on the show.
Yeah, no, not a problem. Not a problem.
Ken's drinking a Miller Lite. I have from Crooked Can Brewery right in Winter Garden. I'm drinking Florida Sunshine Lager. Oh, I don't have the light on in the front tonight, so it's a little hard to see, but when I put that light on in the front, we get a big glare on the TV behind us.
Gotcha.
321 Rocker dude says, I see lots of new builders are charging a builder's fee of 1% at closing. Mm-hmm. Would many of them be willing to waive that fee if you buy without an agent?
Good question. And that gets really, really misunderstood, guys. They'll tell you that, and they'll just put it somewhere else.
Okay.
Guys, an agent is not hurting your transaction. There are 32... I've counted 32 steps in the buying process of even a new home. You do not want to do this by yourself. And unfortunately, people have been told that if you don't have an agent, we could save you money. Guys, come on, let's all put on our big boys hats and stuff, because as you heard, I'm a former police officer, things like that. We teach our kids, be careful of strangers, something's too good to be true. All those things. Do not think you are immune, from that. Practice what you've preached for years. Think about it, guys. Think about it. They work for the builder, which in the real estate world, they work for the seller. That's all I'm going to say. I could go on and on and on about it. I love working with salespeople in new construction. They're awesome people. They're professionals, so on and so forth. They deserve to earn a living, but that's what it's for. So when you're being told, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'll just say it, and we'll just kind of go from there. If you're being told you could have gotten something better without an agent, you got to ask, why was that? Mm-hmm. So why is it so much better if I didn't have an agent? So is it because you could assume that you're giving me something 1%, but then yet somewhere in other aspects of it, you're really going to take 2% more from me? Yeah. So I tell people all the time, pound for pound, you let me know when my fee, my commission hurts you acquiring your home, then that's when I'll be the first one to bow out and back out. I just see too many ways, and the reason why I call myself the real estate hero, people are getting, really raked over by that kind of stuff because of that. Because we're being played on people's pain, people's things. So when somebody acts like they're saving them something, it's the old saying, and I'll end it on that note: you get what you pay for.
Exactly, and then you don't have anybody in your corner.
Correct.
It's just the seller.
That's just like the person who says, well, if you go to court and just plead guilty, we'll give you everything. Again, I don't want to step on public defenders and things like that, but as they say, a person who represents themselves in court has a fool for an attorney. Mm-hmm. Respectfully saying, don't nobody come up here and slap me. First of all, I slap back, first of all, but secondly, no, it's just a joke. But seriously, guys, this is a professional environment.
Can I make a Will Smith joke now or no?
Anytime. Is it too soon? It's whatever. But no, seriously, this is a professional environment. And you got to say that. So to that question, I'll also wrap it up with a bow on that. You're walking into a professional environment. I'd have a professional. If I'm trying to stay out of jail, I'm getting a professional attorney. If I'm going to live to see another day, I'm going to a doctor to do this and that. I can save a lot of money if I go to Walgreens, but sometimes I'm going to have to drive past the Walgreens and go to the VA hospital and get taken care of. And so when you're making that kind of investment, don't worry about what you're saving. Worry about what you're obtaining, and trust me, a good agent will make sure you haven't lost anything.
Allie says, when looking at the building process on some of these new constructions, it seems complicated. The starting price you see on like Zillow, etc., is that including the lot too, or just the home?
It really depends, and that's where a lot of that is coming from. They're giving you the price of the home, and again, and here's where it seems like it's no, I'm actually getting ready to defend them. The reason why is because the lot, depending on the location.
Exactly. They're probably giving you the cheapest lot price.
Yeah, they're giving you the cheapest lot price or without the lot price. Exactly. And just giving you the home, that model home. So when you see starting at $230, what they're saying is, when they made that sign and put it out there in the streets, first of all.
And then it changes every week.
Then it changes because, my goodness, right now, because I get a lot of buyers who, we go to a new construction. I work hard to get them the best opportunity, the best deal, and then they go home and want to think about it, and 2 weeks go by, and literally the market is so fast that, again, if you owned a business, would you keep the price the same if inventory is low and the demand is high? No. So that, when I have a customer that says, I want to think about it, that's going to cost you, it could cost you up to $5,000 to $20,000 by the time, okay, let's go ahead and make the offer. Well, we got to go back at the starting board again. But to answer to that question, the reason why a lot of them will advertise a certain price, and then when you sit down, it's probably two things. The lot location, it's like, because now you pick the lot that's the bigger lot or facing the lake, or some of the upgrades that you wanted, and unfortunately, and that's what a professional agent will help you understand. I think what happens is it wasn't so much the fact that the information came, it's how it came, is what I find most customers are frustrated about. So working with an agent, like I said, that understands that there's so many processes, so many steps, helping pick the builder with the best reputations and so on and so forth, is that once they're protected by a professional, it's not to say that, increases don't happen, things like that. You're just less surprised, or the increase don't hurt you because we went into this thing wide open.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Ken, can you do me a favor?
That plan. Yes, sir.
Can you hand me one of those little cylindrical cylindrical tubes over there.
Right here?
I need it for this next comment.
Awesome.
This is something special in here.
Okay.
This right here is my kazoo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I play this when someone has some news like they do right here. And
Wow.
Tom just said, Eric, awesome day today. Secured new job finally. Offer accepted on new house and relocating to Winter Haven on May 9th from East Rochester, New York. Tom, that is a great day.
That's awesome. That's a blessing.
Kazoo for you, Tom.
So
I'd have you play one, but you know.
No, I love it. I love it. Congrats.
So, Tom, congrats on that, my man.
That is a blessing, man. Awesome.
You're going to love Winter Haven.
Yeah.
Shannon says, what do you suggest for a couple who will be new homeowners?
Okay. Again, find out what you guys want. Have fun with it. You know, I jokingly say, I always tell my customers I'm not Dr. Phil or Oprah, so I don't want to sit here and get into who said who. Allow yourselves to have your own list. So the very first thing I would say is, even without each other, write down, your must-haves, your negotiables, and things like that. And then you get together, and then you guys kind of negotiate with each other first. What are the must-haves? What are this? What is that? And then, again, align that plan with an agent who will have a team of people. And then it just then we just recruit for the team, of your family team. And then we go into this thing eyes wide open. And any question you have, you ask it. I always jokingly say, if I see a customer of mine signing and I see their hand shaking, they better be excited, because if they're nervous, I pause them. What are you not understanding? Mm-hmm. We slow down, we explain it, and we go from there. So just work with an agent who has the skill sets to work with you as a new home buyer. Because I'll tell you right now, if you purchase a home beyond 2 years, ever since COVID, you're a new home buyer as far as theory-wise, because it's completely changed. I know people who bought a home, 10 years ago, and I'll tell you right now, it's not the same. Home buying, this is, as they say, this is not your granny's home buying system right now. It's fast, it's furious, it's getting through a few no's, a few declines of offers before you get to that one.
Here's another question from Margot, and I'm not sure this is one that we can necessarily give a specific answer for, but she says, will I be pre-approved if my husband and I have jobs in Maryland and will be looking for a job in Florida? Basically, do we need to have 2 jobs mainly in Florida but not in another state to be pre-approved for a loan?
No, very good question, and I could definitely think that we could bring that home. Is we need to be able, so the first question is, and I don't know if you had said it, are they making this home a primary home?
Or is it
your secondary home? If it's your secondary home, you just got to have enough debt to income to show that you could afford this home and have enough
or
income.
Equity.
And home, exactly. Right? So basically, you're going to have to be able just to show that you could afford both homes. Would be that your credit.
Now, what if they're renting where they're at now?
And then they purchase. So now they're going to make this their primary home.
Right, but they have their jobs in Maryland.
Right. The beautiful thing that COVID did, what opened up our floodgates, where a lot of jobs now allow people to work from home. So if you could work from home, now your home could be in Florida and your job's company address is in Maryland or something like that.
But if you physically have to go to a job in Maryland,
but if you physically have to go to the job, then that's
you're probably going to have to get a job in Florida if
correct.
This is going to be your primary residence and it's your only home.
Yeah, correct. Okay. Unless this is a secondary home purchase. Hopefully that helped. Great question.
Daddy TV or Daddy RV says, how much do realtors make per year? They could make anywhere from zero.
I've had those days.
To up in the millions.
Yeah.
It's all on the work ethic and how good they are. And
I say it like this, and I'll it sounds a little corny, but agents can make up to what they earn.
Exactly.
And work for it, and that's the beauty of it. It could be, it could be into the definitely high.
It's about the same income. Right.
Yeah, there you go. Starving artists, or are you sitting there waiting for your Oscars and stuff like that? But no, it's definitely admirable and hardworking and all that kind of, because I don't think people understand what the good agents have to do in order to earn the money that they do earn. And you also have to understand it is not guaranteed. It is definitely not consistent. So it's a high risk, high reward. Definitely, without a doubt, a high risk, high reward type of environment.
Pamela says, what is a non-disclosure on a home?
What is a non-disclosure? So just in simplicity's sake, again, it's just anything that is not, readily known to the buyer. Back in the days of the old buyer beware kind of approach, to where, but in today's world, most of the time, I don't get a chance to work too much with non-disclosure issues because I'm going to find out why is that. And is that really necessary, and so on and so forth. So so not an expert at non-disclosure documentation or issues and stuff like that. I don't usually, that's not usually a lane that I work with.
I'm getting the kazoo back out.
We got good news, man. I'm loving this, man.
We got the Gilbys, and there are viewers that, if I recall right, in Minnesota. Not a question, just an announcement. We were promoted to grandparents this week. Lake and Bradley, born on 3/25. Congratulations, Gilbys. that is definitely worth a kazoo.
I'm a grandparent, man. It's a whole. Now, are they brand new? This is their first.
I think so. They said promoted to grandparents.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, a whole different type of love. Now the kids are going to be jealous because you're not going to do the same things you did raising your children as you are with your grandkids. They're going to be mush in your hands. You're going to do so many things, but man, what a blessing! What a blessing.
Marty says, what's up, Marty? Good to see you in here. Says realtors have access to off-market homes as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Allie says, thank you so much. This is incredibly helpful. Allie, you're very welcome. That's what we do this for. Lots of congratulations to the Gilbys and to Tom for all of Tom's good news today, too. We got lots of good news today.
Yeah, definitely.
Where are we at here? Annalicia is drinking Voodoo Ranger IPA.
Yeah,
I like that one, Annalicia.
Man.
That's a good one. That's one of my favorites, but I can only have a couple of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 9%. All right, somebody doesn't have to work tomorrow.
Annalicia's always drinking when she's watching us. I love it. Except when she was on her juice cleanse.
Okay, cool.
Pamela says, I'm afraid of getting into a home that's got mold or flooding.
Yeah, that's the reason why we want to do inspections.
Yeah.
There's little things that I don't call them they're minor investments to make sure that those things happen. I always want to make sure that my people are protected, guys. Don't shortchange yourself to shortchange yourself is what I say like that. So no, we'll get your home inspected. We'll make sure if anything and everything, whatever your concerns are, your concerns now become my concerns, and we'll make sure that we put ourselves with a professional. I don't walk in the house and say, oh, no, I don't see it, no mold. I'm not a mold expert. So I pick up the phone, I call somebody who will come out and give us the report and everything like that.
And that's another reason why it's important to have a good agent, because just like there's agents that don't do the work, there's probably also home inspectors that are probably not the best home inspectors. So you want your real estate agent to know who's good, who's bad in the business, and be able to recommend definitely a good home inspector for you, because the last thing your real estate agent wants is you, the client, unhappy and finding all these issues after closing. We don't want that.
Definitely don't want that, because the agent, if a good agent, does not want that call.
Right, exactly.
You don't want that call.
Andrea says, on the job pre-approval question, what if you are coming with a good amount of money for down payment? Mm-hmm. Can you get a pre-approval that way? Are you asking, Andrea, without a job here?
Right. And the way you got to look at it this way, and a lot of people just don't understand it, is you're asking. So it's kind of like and again, I'm not trying to be a smarty pants or nothing like that. Would you give a loan to somebody you don't know? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's we got to kind of put it out there like that.
You got to be able to prove you can pay it back.
Correct. And the most consistent ways is a couple of things. Your credit, because that's showing your history of payments. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then you got your job, which is going to prove the amount you could pay. So yeah, unfortunately, even though, and it goes back to, I think, the early question when somebody's asked about bubbles and crashes, is that it actually used to probably be okay for somebody to do that. And, money appeared in your bank account and nobody could really trace it and find out why. The old money under the mattress kind of stuff. So unfortunately, no, a large down payment won't won't replace consistent job history or work history or income opportunity, because that goes back to the reason why I'm so confident that we won't crash or we won't do those things that happened before.
Because they're not just giving loans out there.
Yeah, no, we learned from that mistake a little bit and stuff. The good news is that if a person has a good work history, all they have to do is come here and continue working. And, I've even learned it doesn't even have to be the same job or anything like that.
That's what I was going to ask you, because we get that question a lot, is people that are switching careers.
Right.
Like, totally different career.
Yeah.
Are they able to get a loan?
Yes.
Even though they're switching careers?
Yes, because there's lenders out there. Now, what I'm saying is you may have ran into a lender who said no. We just got to find a lender who says yes.
Okay.
So, yes, the last time that I checked and I spoke to one of my preferred lenders, they actually corrected me because I was one that used to say, I would say it didn't have to be the same job. It just had to be in the same field. It could be a different hospital.
Like if you're going from truck driver to...
I used to say that was a problem, and then I was corrected, and that's the reason why I stopped trying to say
Now,
things.
does credit score have anything to do with that?
Yeah. I mean, your credit, again, so look at it this way. Credit score will dictate your rate. Your income dictates how much. So, yes, it has something to do with it. Not the exact same, but it has something to do with it, and I always kind of try to keep things in layman's terms. So, yeah, so your credit has something to do with it because that's going to help with your monthly payment because people will come to me and say, oh, I want a $200,000 house. But they're two different people spending on $200,000 could actually have a different monthly payment.
Right,
Because
and it can vary drastically. One person
big
might have
time.
more money down,
Big time. Yeah.
and the other one's paying the private mortgage insurance.
Correct, and all those extras because their credit score wasn't as good and things like that. Again, now, with that being said, you got your home that's good, you pay on it, you improve on whatever your life circumstances was, refinance, and then make everything right with the world again. And, because the whole thing with credit is what I've learned from my preferred lenders as well is don't get hung up on that a lot. And this is going back to, again, when people are saying is now a good time to buy, is this, guys. Remember this. That credit score is really giving you the pricing if you were to stay at home and pay that mortgage for the next 30 years, 15 to 30 years. 9 times out of 10, that's not going to be the case for you. Most people now are staying in these homes like literally almost 3 years before they make another change or whatever. Definitely 5 or so is more of a sweeter spot. People just aren't growing, like, oh, I was in this neighborhood for the last 30 years. You're not getting that as much no more.
Especially here in Florida.
This is it's a transitional situation, that it is, and it hasn't really gotten there yet. Of course, there are some places that are like that, but for the most part, today's buyers are out within 5 years. So that's another reason why the whole thing with the interest rate, I would not stop your dream of coming down here. I'd rather pay a slightly higher interest rate than shovel snow.
That makes two of us, man.
Because, man, I haven't done this in a long time, blowing my hands and all that. I love getting out and feeling all my limbs in January and stuff. For sure. I love it.
E-Ticket says, thinking about selling my house in California and moving to Florida or Texas, buying cash but worried about weather and culture shock. Well, you're definitely going to have, coming from California, different weather because you don't have the humidity there.
Yeah.
And you pretty much, depending on where you're at in California, probably about 65 to 70 degrees almost every day.
Yep.
Where that's our winter here.
Right, yeah.
Summers can be very hot. As far as culture shock, I wouldn't, Southern California, I wouldn't think it's too much different.
No, and we were talking about that, guys. Florida's not your grandma's Florida no more. It's not pink flamingos and and all yellow and pink houses and where people just come to retire anymore. So no, I wouldn't say that. Again, I know me and my team, what we do for our transients, we really, again, here we go again, the who, what, when, where, and why. We really do a consultation with you. We find out what your likes are and things like that, your cultural expectations, and we give you the information so that way you can make the right decision. And if that is an important factor to you, the beautiful thing about Florida is everything from fishing to nature walks to jogging to the arts, the liberal arts, cruising, which was my thing, and beaches and amusement parks. It's a little bit of everything, foodies. So whatever we can find it here. So now Florida is that melting pot. It's a beautiful thing to see so much diversity here in Florida. No, I don't think that's as much as just like you said, that humidity, a little bit different here in Florida. So I recommend the people, one of the pro tips is that if you're still a year or so out, you got to come visit us around that July, August, and really get a good taste of it. because anywhere from April to like October, if you could hit, if you, as the old saying, if you could stand the heat, around that time period, then yeah, Florida's for you. You'll be fine.
Pamela says, how hard is it to close in 30 to 45 days? I'd say it's pretty typical, isn't it?
Oh, very typical. Again, I have to applaud today's lenders. So for those in the lending industry, I applaud you guys. You guys are working very hard to make us look good, and I don't think they get enough credits and stuff like that. So I got to give it now. Yes, because what happens is your lender should be really working with you and getting your documentation, your financial stuff in order. And just as much as I want to give lenders that credit, I have to give love to the viewer, to the buyers. Man, buyers are coming together with their
stuff that quick.
They're getting their stuff together. Because I think a lot of stuff is digital now. Where again, agent myself, you had to go find the W-2s, we had to go find the tax paperwork.
Drive them over to the office.
I gotta wait till HR comes in before I can give you that 2-year history. I had to go to the bank. I had to do this, and so and that was all in file cabinets. So I think what's happening is technology is making it a lot easier for everybody, but everybody's doing a better job at keeping everything more organized and together. And I think that was definitely a time saver and everything. But lenders are finding electronical and systematic ways of getting answers. The preferred lenders I work with, most of them have in-house underwriting, which is that could save you about a week in processing, because people don't know that if underwriting kicks back something, it would have to start all over again and yada, yada,
and if
yada.
If it's in the same office, it's a lot quicker.
Yeah, and if it's in the same office, it's a whole lot quicker. It could save a whole lot more. A lot of lenders are doing upfront underwriting, which means an underwriter has already looked at it. Mm-hmm. So it's not a big shock to anybody. And so a lot of lenders and a lot of people are just doing some real amazing things to make the process enjoyable. I have a saying is that I'm here to make real estate fun again. And we're having good times in the real estate transactions right now because everybody's doing such an amazing job.
Let's skip ahead a little bit, guys. I'm sorry if I missed your comment. Gilby says, thank you. Yes, first, he's a Packer fan already. Wanted to share that with our Florida 5 family. So I can approve of that, of the new baby being a Packer fan, especially living in Minnesota.
So. Oh, yeah.
Wait. Yeah. I think if I'm correct, now your grandbaby's across the border, right, in Wisconsin? Lindsay always says I got an elephant memory. So
okay.
I think I'm correct with that. Kyle says, thoughts on paying blank amount of money over the appraisal amount? Like, we will pay $10K over whatever the appraisal will be. Any advice for this?
I love that question. And beauty's in the eye of the beholder, guys. So this is how I look at it, and this is the best way. Again, I love breaking it down in layman's terms. The inspection of the home is just a professional analysis of the home's condition. The appraisal is a professional analysis of the home's potential value. Okay, so a value is an opinion. Okay, so if the home if depending on the choices, so on and so forth. So to get right to the point, for somebody to be willing, if they're able to pay $10,000 more than appraisal, because guys, appraisers are humans. They make mistakes. They value things differently. Their opinions. They have a system to lead to that opinion. But at the end of the day, this is an opinion. It's not a perfect, foolproof system. We've challenged appraisals. Again, here's a little tip. You should be working with an agent that has an appraisal system. What I do and what my team will do, the way we train ourselves, is that let's say we're walking into a situation like that and we want to make sure that the home gets appraised as high as it normally is, then let's go down and figure out why are we paying that much. If it's a new roof, then let's make sure we got the paperwork showing it's a new roof. Let's not leave it on the appraiser to know it. Mm-hmm. If it's a new AC, it's this. If it's this, if it's that, if you added something, keep all the receipts. Again, in today's world, like I just said, you can Google and you can find these things out. Have a list. So we have the home, we have the market, we're showing the appraiser how fast homes are selling, so they have confidence that it's a growing environment. But then as far as like, let's say that you're getting ready to pay that next highest price in that area, then just justify by why. So the question is, why are you wanting to pay that much? Because whether appraise the home at what you're asking for or not, you should have already asked your question or answered yourself to that question. Why would you be paying that amount anyway? Then all we got to do is just make sure we have all the paperwork to show that. We present that to the appraiser. We back out of their way and all that kind of good stuff, and then let the chips fall where they find. And let's say we fall a little bit short because you're talking to somebody who has many times walked off of a car lot, a store or something like that, and paid a little more than I wanted to. But you know what? It's mine now. I love it. I got what I wanted out of it. I'm not here to, be in my backyard barbecuing and just brag about everybody how I always got a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the great deal could be just in the fact that my family is in a home that they will grow up in, be safe in, get a great education in, and really just fulfilling that family dream. And you know what? I'll pay $10,000 extra if that's what I'm able to do, and if that's what it stands for, I'll do that. So yeah, I get that a lot. People think that the appraisal means that the home's not worth it. No, it's just somebody's opinion. I respect it, but it's an opinion.
Duke's got a good question here. I'll be starting up my business down there after being in business for 10 years. Would it be difficult to get a mortgage?
Good question. No, it's just consistency. What a lender will do is go. So you would probably end up getting a loan based on your taxes or your bank account. So yeah, so it's if you've been in business for 10 years, hopefully it's been growing at least the last 2 years. So yeah, so we'll probably end up doing, I don't want to again try to butcher up the name of what type of process that is, but yeah, they'll just end up getting you a loan based on your bank account, so on and so forth. And again, you may have a higher interest rate because of it. It's a higher risk type of loan, but yeah, you could acquire a home. So no, business owners, please come to Florida. We would love to have you. And
that's something that I saw before that I was going to touch on. When we skipped ahead on the questions, I saw somebody ask something about getting a mortgage down in Florida when you're self-employed. That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
They're going to look at your tax returns. They're going to look at more specifically, like you said.
Yeah, us as realtors.
Your last 2 years.
We're entrepreneurs. We're self-employed. So yeah, we had to do it, and I had to go through the scrutiny. Almost got fired by my wife a couple of times. I think I was her worst agent.
And Alicia says, I love the weather in Florida. When I was there, it was 101 and it felt great. And Florida is the place for you, Annalisa.
Yeah, that's it. Bring it on. She's a beast. I love it.
Greg says, Lindsay, your hair looks so different today.
Yeah, big time, big time, big time, big time, big time. G.I. Jane 3, I guess.
Jennifer loves when it's hot and hates air conditioning. Well, I'm a fan of air
conditioning. Yeah,
especially when you're walking out of the heat.
She's gangster.
Pamela says, are there any areas close to the ocean that would not require flood insurance? How far inland is not too close to the beach?
That question was asked earlier. I don't want to try to act like I know it for sure. It changes because all it takes is for a tragedy. All it takes is for something new to come out. There's so many parameters that go into it. Department of Transportation, so there's a lot of moving parts that dictates it. But no, I could almost tell you if you're buying anything, again, if I had to throw out a number, 25 or so miles, you got to start, just doing your homework. But again, I could easily and you could easily talk to a reputable homeowners home insurance company, and they can give you that answer quick, fast, in a hurry. Yeah. So, but yeah, without a doubt, if you're around coastlines, you're going to be paying higher insurance rates.
Okay, and I was right. The Gilby's grandson was born in La Crosse, Wisconsin, which is right on the other side of the Mississippi.
Okay.
From Minnesota. So, Packer fans only over there.
There you go.
What are you a fan of?
Cheeseheads. It's kind of funny. I remember when you and I first met.
Yeah.
Always respected. I got to kind of watch what I say here. I don't want to ruffle the flock.
You're not going to say Bears, right?
No. So being in New York, so it's kind of funny. Growing up, being a New Yorker, ironically, my oldest brother, he was my idol. So he grew up a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and growing up in New York. So then as I joined the military, you're bouncing around, and that was right around the sweet spot of the Lawrence Taylor era and stuff. So I was proud to be a Giant. And then I'm the kind of person I morph into wherever I'm at. So while I was in Chicago, we'll leave it at that, Walter Payton time period. But that's when...
That was a good time, though.
Yeah, that was a good time. And that's when Brett Favre was coming up in Wisconsin and all that good stuff. So, no, I'm just a big fan of sports in a whole. I've just been blessed to be in areas, and I just thought about it, man. Some of these teams owe me a little something because I remember when I was in Atlanta around the Mike Vick era, and I moved around here, and we get Tom Brady. So I don't know. I think I'm a little good luck charm for the local teams and stuff. So now I did live in Jacksonville. That didn't help the Jaguars.
Nothing can help the Jaguars.
So yeah.
And what about the Bucks or the Bucks, Tampa Bay Bucks? Yeah, they've been good lately.
Yeah.
Marty, I know you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. And believe it or not, hockey is a lot bigger in Florida than I expected it.
Yes, big time. Yeah.
We are all caught up, Ken.
I love
Does anybody
it,
else have any other questions before we cut Ken loose and let him go home? Oh, of course, we got one coming in right now.
That's it.
Cammy says, hi, Eric. My family are currently in Orlando on a short-term work assignment and have been exploring the Winter Garden, Clermont area for possible permanent relocation in the near future. I'll tell you what, Cammy, we love this area. We love Clermont.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Ken and I actually used to almost be neighbors.
Yeah. I'm not far from Clermont. You're right here. Yep. Some good golfing around here. Good shopping. Yeah, I'm in Clermont all the time.
We loved where we were neighbors with you. We loved that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Then we moved to a different neighborhood in Davenport. Mm-hmm. We didn't like the neighborhood as much, but we loved the house we were in because we had a pool, of course.
There you go.
Now Clermont, we love the neighborhood, love the area, but now we don't got the pool. So.
We gotta make it match. We gotta help enough people so that we can get help. Yeah.
Cammy says, can you recommend any areas under 500K? And you're here in the Central Florida. I mean, you can take your pick. Almost,
yeah, you can take your pick. And again, great question, but Cammy, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd love to sit down with you and find out what else makes you tick other than the budget. And yeah, but easily, just like what he said. Now, easily with that price point, we can get you something. Don't let people fool you or anything like that. That's a good, solid price point that you could have your pick of the litter of where you want to be. I'd love to know more about what your needs are, and then be able to find you the perfect price, perfect home, perfect area, and and live it up in Florida.
Tonka, who's my man here, who bought a house in Davenport, a little over a year ago now, Tonka, says, is it time to take equity out and buy an investment home?
Man, good question. Really good question. And it really depends on the individual need because some people, again, it's just like anything else. It's what does your household say? What is your household goals and dreams? And, and go for it, man. I was talking to somebody before, and I said, the best time to do something? Yesterday. The next best time to do something? Today. The reason being, and I know for me, the reason why I try to find joy in my heart and do what I do, and I'm so pleased to be here with you guys. I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Mm-hmm. Guys, don't, now again, if you really, really got a professional knack for this kind of stuff, then yeah, that's your lane. But I'm telling you guys, I deal with a lot of customers. I'm like, can we please have fun with this? Meaning, walk around the house and see if the house talks to you. Don't come in the house and just because you see it on HGTV, you start, stepping on the floor and, they're knocking on the wood and they're asking me, oh, is this Chinese drywall? I'm like, what are you watching TV at? Do you like the home? Meaning it's okay. It's okay. If you're working with a professional, we're going to make sure the T's across the I's are dotted. Any concerns, anything that we can do to make sure that you're happy, you can do what you got to do. But that goes back to the whole, what are your needs? What are your desires? What is it that you would want to pull equity out for? And I'll tell you right now, if it constitutes anything about bringing a smile in your family's face, I would definitely say, work with an expert and let's keep going until there's a reason not to go any further.
And he just said his house appraised for $295,000 more than he paid in 2020.
Man, I'm buying a boat. It sounds like somebody's boating. Yeah. I mean, it's but at the end of the day, don't do that with yourself. If you made a great investment back then. If you want to reward yourself now with it, reward yourself now with it. If you feel the need to wait. You make that final decision and make a plan with whatever you do and don't look back.
All right. Well,
awesome.
Ken, I thank you so much.
It is truly an honor and a pleasure. It's kind of funny, you come with a different expectation, and I man, you got some good people. You don't think vibe comes through the screen, and it does.
Oh, it does,
so,
for sure.
No, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool because for those who don't know, I think there's like, I've been interviewed a couple of times, but definitely, one of the first few official podcasts and stuff. And I'm telling you, man, I feel a good energy in the room with a lot of good people on the end of that screen.
Well, we'll have you back sometime.
No, definitely. Maybe we could do it on a beach or something. That'd be cool.
I'll play your pool, man.
There you go. I love it. But no, to those out there, man, I always have a saying: be good to yourself, be good to others, and get what you want to get. Work with the right people to get you the right items in the right way, and you'll be fine.
As always, guys, we thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.